Righty ho. Well, I suppose we better do this as we always do this, which is 10 taps. 4 for the hell, 1 for the space, 4 for yeah, and I certainly already have a smile on my face, guys. I see them coming. Ding! Right, let me get that mic there. And shall we, folks? Hello. That seems a bit of a misnomer now, doesn't it? Alright, guys. Not gonna cry. No. Okay. I put up a video yesterday. I think quite a few of you saw it. Yeah, I was in a bit of a hole. You filled the hole. Nice little mound on top. And I can see the sunlight, guys. So I've actually unlisted the video. I unlisted the video thinking, right, okay, I've done that. Everyone's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant. Right, okay, that's it, gone. And it's still going ding. My PayPal still. I'm like, I've realised people have shared it all over the internet. And I don't want to delete it or make it private because there's loads of wonderful comments on there that I need to reply to. Yeah, so it's still going, even though I've sort of stopped it. Thank you, guys. Yeah, difficult video to do. It's always difficult asking for help, and I should have got back to the channel sooner, you know, but with the emphysema and everything like that, it's been a struggle to get back. And in true form, yeah, you guys, you did what you do. Yeah, I think we're going to see a few of those because PayPal is still tied in. So, Shawok, thank you, buddy. Right, I don't know if the Google Docs is working. Right, we may have to do the questions in the chat because I think when I was working on a few things, I think old Malsky here, he's kind of watching. I think I've deleted the Google Doc or I've transferred it to a different folder and now it's unlinked. Go for dance. I think we will end this show with a go for dance. I'm not starting it because I'm wearing pajamas and then I've got to sit with you like in a conversation afterwards. So if we're going to go to that obscenity, yeah, we'll save it. I did Agile. Thank you, matey. I got quite a few. Right, so where are we? Well, I'm out of the hole. Yeah, well and truly out of the hole. You've actually put me a little bit ahead. Yeah, which is good because with where I am on Patreon and that sort of stuff now, as long as I pull my finger out and I get back to making tutorials and that sort of stuff like I've been doing with the Burma board, it's the stress is off my shoulders, guys. So thank you. Now, Patreon, first off, the PayPalers have been amazing. Little and large, some have given 50s, some have given 5s. Yeah, the fact that you consider me donation worthy and get me out of the hole, you know, it's humbling, guys. It really is. There aren't words for that sort of thing. You know, these are sort of bizarre times. Yeah, and there aren't words for them. But, yeah, it's gone really well. Now, Patreon, I was about 150 people short. Yeah, of where I was before we sort of, you know, I had the health issues and that sort of stuff. I actually picked up 200 new patrons in the past, 24 hours. So, massive thank you. And you've actually put me a little bit ahead. So, it's looking, yeah, pretty damn good. Yeah. Right. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm touching my wood. Calm down. Yeah. It's good. I will be honest with you. All I've done today, yeah, I've paid a few bills. Yeah, and then all I've done is yawned. I've been so exhausted. And I just think it's stress. You know when the stress comes off and everything like, woosah. Yeah, so if I'm not my normal energetic self, yeah, I think my body's doing a woosah moment. We love you, honey. Thank you, Abel. What you do has helped many of us out of holes one way or another. So it's what we do here. I've always been proud of the Terrainiac clan, you know, the community we've got here, because even if it's for me or even if it's for anyone else, thank you, Keith. Oh, he's jumped on Patreon. Really excited about Patreon at the minute. Yeah. This community of ours, I like it because wherever I see it interacting, it's always helping people. Always. Now, whether it's in the Terrainiacs group, the link is down below in the description if you're not part of the Terrainiacs Facebook group. But that's just like a Terrainiacs self-help group. Yeah, and by the time I get to the post, the questions normally have been answered by in 5 different ways, 2 of which I'm quite interested in myself. It's like, oh, that's new. Picked up a new silicon modelling technique off the Terrainiacs as well. Been messing around with that. Yeah, when I see you in the chats, when I see people asking for help in the chats and anything in life and any sort of cause or anything like that, you lot just step the hell up. Yeah, so, hell yeah. Massive shout out to you lot. Don't worry about it. Insane, don't worry about it. Mrs. Scott, thank you. From Mr. Scott, the Northernman, thank you. Tanya's saying, while you are all in a super supportive mood, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd be surprised if any of you lot, I'm not going to call you buggers, aren't subscribed. But yeah, hit the like button. We've got 120 people watching and only 42 likes. Now 42 is a very good number, but we need more likes. Come on, let's ramp that up. Like spike. Now, we need to talk about a few things. Yeah, what's been going on? Right, my rice paddies, they're currently modern art. I've been experimenting with different ways of dealing with low-profile scenery making. Sort of getting the pieces as low to the ground so you can actually make it look like the water's in the ground and not surrounded by a little, hillock. Yeah, and my 3 experiments, they've all warped. Yeah, it's quite modern art, and I'm thinking of submitting it into the studio's next exhibition, as a feature. Sort of an Inception concept. Have you seen the film? Where the bendy buildings and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I've got to tackle rice paddies again because I've figured out where I've gone wrong. Yeah, and I've learned a lot doing those. I've learned a lot about warping, to be perfectly honest, off the back of that. Yeah, so got that to get cracked on. Now, I do have something, and I'm going to need my notebook, which means I'm going to have to send the girl upstairs for my notebook. Daughter of mine, can you go up to my bedroom and get my notebook and my pencil, please? My pencil. Thank you. Hey, Mart. Adam's asking, the best place to buy your book to benefit you. To be truthful, anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't matter where you buy the book from, I still get the same amount of royalties off Dave, who's my publisher. Yeah, and Dave still gets, the same amount of money from what we made on the retail sales and that sort of stuff. Yeah, so with regards to buying the book, yeah, I believe the links are in the description. I hope they are. If not, I'm going to have to get that updated. But my recommendation is thank you, Greg. Yeah, my recommendation is that you support your local gaming store. So if you're not desperate to get your hands on it, yeah, ring up your local gaming store, ask them to order it from Warlord or Bridge or Alliance Distribution. Thank you. Have you seen her hands? Yeah. Guess who was doing Halloween as a bloodied up girl? You good, Wills?
Yeah.
Right, young lady, are you going to go jump in the shower or are you going to have to wait for me to set it up for you?
Yeah, I'll wait till after your stream or something.
Oh, so you can stay out later?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice tactical move that, innit?
Thing is, I can get up when I actually need to. It's you that we need to. I can just go in like da 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 da.
Be gone, child.
No, you've summoned me now.
Oh God, we're not going to get rid of her. Right, go on.
You will.
Kiss the balding head and bugger off. Don't polish it. Do you know, the only thing that's saving you right now is that I'm live and I could lose my channel. Yeah? You ever do that with the camera off, girl, and I'm telling you.
Wait, does that mean that I can do this and I can rub your bald spot?
It is legal to cut your children's hair while they're sleeping, isn't it? Kiss, disappear. You sod. Right, you. Give us a kiss.
We'll be more famous than you one day.
Love you.
Love you too.
You will be. Right, go on.
What do you mean I will be?
More famous than me.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Aww,
You're an amazing artist.
you're the best.
No, I'm nowhere near as talented as you are.
Oh yeah, I'll put it on the page where the cat is.
Yeah. Do you want to bring it, Mushroom Cat? She didn't hear that. Bald spot. It's not more so much of a bald spot as the thinning dome. Yeah, I'm either going to have to adjust the lights in here or start wearing anti-shine makeup. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, she is my heart and soul. She certainly has you wrapped around her little finger. I don't mind it. To be truthful with Wills, yeah, when you need her to do things and do the right things, she does. Yeah, when you don't, she's a sod. And she's a thug. She's right brutal. She's dead violent. I'd buff and wax your head if I were your child. I think the reason is, I think it was started with, those in the know will know the crap hat effect. Yeah, and it definitely started there. Yeah, but successive buffing off my children, polishing as they walk past, is definitely, has definitely, sort of exaggerated the problem. Michael's asking, talking about the book, you guys did a survey after the Kickstarter. What requests, ideas were a good surprise inspiration for you? To be truthful, the requests after the Kickstarter, they were all for the same thing. I mean, literally, the vast majority of them. There were a few sort of outliers and surprise things, such as small scale, and a couple of people wanted me to do books on 3D printing. I'm still learning, and I don't ever see myself being in a position where I'd probably write more than perhaps a page or two as an overview of 3D printing for people who are looking to get into it. Yeah. Mel, the Google Doc is deleted. Yes, Tam, I said earlier that I made a screwed up, I think, and I've deleted it, so it'll be sorted for next show. We'll do the questions in the actual, in the actual comments. Yeah, so don't worry, we have the technology to rebuild this. Yeah, everyone's talking static grass, flock here, a little bit of airbrushing. Yeah, Mel's just reached 800 on Patreon. Are you Mr. McKnight? I think he was Mr. 800. That's awesome. All your spice. I think if I'm going to have to flock it, it's going to have to be the spice mix. Insane saying I should have had doors on my pig farm. I did think about that afterwards. Or more importantly, I saw a pig farm on the Terrainiacs group that looked really good with doors, and I thought, oh shit, I forgot to add doors. Oh bugger. So, constructive criticism is merited, and I support that constructive criticism. Yeah, so, yeah, we've talked about the girl. She's done. Yeah, quick shout out, if you don't know about them. Models for Heroes, the Veterans and First Responders Mental Health charity that I'm an ambassador and stakeholder in. Yeah, that's where we were. Follow-up questions. Will you do another book? Well, that's interesting because everyone, yeah, who sort of followed up the Kickstarter survey, yeah, there was no criticism of my book. It was, yeah, it's great, it's everything. There was a couple of little things like, oh, this could have done with illustrations and little things, but everyone was happy with the book, and I don't think I've seen a negative comment about it. I don't think I've seen anyone who sort of said it wasn't worth it or anything like that. Yeah, and so, but with the second book, everyone wanted the same thing, which was the more extreme environments. It was all, can you do lava? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do magic? Can you do chaos? Can you do AOS stuff? Can you do 40k stuff? Yeah. And so, if I go down another book, and if I do, then I'm not considering it for at least another year. Yeah, my focus purely moving forward is, one, the channel, and two, you know, I want to do work with Models for Heroes. You know, because I've always done the sort of raising money for veterans and mental health awareness stuff. But Models for Heroes lets me do it in a far more structured and purposeful way. So, Tanya saying, did someone say illustrations? Your illustrations were like Tanya. They were. Yeah. And so, what do you call it? If there's going to be another book, then it will be another year before I sort of delve into that. And it will definitely be something that I do in the context of do it slowly while I continue the channel. Anders, thank you, buddy. Yeah, so do it slowly while I continue the channel. Yeah, because this is where I belong. You know, and each time I get away from the channel, the black dog comes at me. Whenever I'm away from the channel, that's when the black dog actually gets me. Yeah? And whenever I come back to the channel, that's where I always feel great because I'm doing I'm doing my passion. Yeah? And so I sort of made the decision, you know, that when I'm coming back to it, I'm going to give it a solid year. Yeah? No tangents, no let's see what else we could do, that sort of stuff. You know, what you call it? No tangents or anything like that. Just solid terraining, you know, grow the channel, keep doing what I do, and enjoy life. You know, it's been a tough couple of years, to be perfectly bloody honest. Yeah, it ain't been easy. And I know it's been tough all round, you know, but if you add on all the personal stuff on top, it's been a bit of a, you know what I mean? And so I'm just going to get stuck into my train, and I've got loads of stuff to do. Right, Rusty Beetle's got a question. Is Models for Heroes the charity you did the 24-hour Mantic terrain build for? No, that's Help for Heroes. Help for Heroes is a large UK charity that helps veterans and that sort of stuff, and you can do all sorts. Help for Heroes has got nothing to do with the wargaming community. I mean, anyone can raise money for Help for Heroes. Yeah, Models for Heroes works with Help for Heroes as they provide modelling lessons to them at their rehabilitation centre in Livingston, I think it is. But Models for Heroes is as a charity, very specific about taking donated model kits, so your spare sprues, yeah, and then passing them on to veterans so they can do hobbying, yeah, as a way of sort of like, you know, dealing with PTSD and the stress. And we all know, yeah, I mean, we know better than anyone, yeah, that model making is great for mental health and you know, putting the world to rights, or putting the world calm down and that sort of stuff. And so they also do like modelling group sessions that are volunteer led. And so I'm going to look to become trained as one of their volunteers, which means I've got to go away and do like courses on being a, you know, mental health, emergency first aid and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, with the idea that I want to lead a modelling group in the Stoke area, and then hopefully I want to step it up to the stage where once or twice a year I'm running week-long residential courses as respite courses for veterans, you know. So, but that's all up there. Right now, my main job with regards to Models of Heroes is just to make sure that keeps getting out there, and you guys just keep going and, you know, jumping on Facebook and giving them a likes, and I'll start putting their links in the description and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and so, yeah, that's where I am. You know, once again, Models for Heroes. Now, so that's my focus for the next year going forward. Yeah, get stuck into terrain, get stuck into terrain shooting, start getting out to some shows and that sort of stuff. Yeah, and also continue my sort of charity work. Yeah, it's for the stream goal. I think we're going to hit the stream goal. Which model would you do? I have no idea. I found out that if I ID the trigger that releases the black dog, it helps. Yeah, very much so. Thank you, Michael. I found out many ways to cope being the dog free since last January. Nice one, JP. Thank you, Kev. I'd like a red-headed model with green eyes, please. You're tempting fate, aren't you? A redhead with green eyes. Fiery temper and the colour of jealousy. You're brave. Right, we've got some questions here. Yeah, I'm going to have to pick them out as I go and as I spot them on this one. Oh, sorry, guys. Stress coming off, you know what I mean? Yeah. Day drinking solves a multitude of problems. Thank you, Fred. Right. Any tips for modelling shattered glass shards and broken windows for my Chernobyl ruined commie blocks? Right, when it comes to shattered glass, the best one I've seen so far, yeah, is the, where you take screen protectors and you break those up. Yeah, hit them a couple of times, put them on something soft, hit them a couple of times, and you'll get the shards smashing out. And then you can sort of delaminate them and pick them out. Yeah, I'm going to throw this over to the Terrainiacs. Yeah. Tim's just quickly asking, where's my brew? Here. Yeah. JP's saying he goes for blister packs. Now, can you see that for windows, but shards? Blister packs are working great, people are saying. Shattered glass. Use microscope slides sandwiched between sellotape. Crack on a grain of sand. That's a good one. That's real good. I mean, they are glass. So, you know, obviously not young modelers with that one. That's a more mature modeler's technique. But very realistic. Very realistic. 'Cause it's shattered glass. Diggy's saying, don't mess with those screens. They're toxic. Now, I haven't heard of anything like that. Thank you, Sean. Anyone else? Roy's saying, stick the blister pack in a freezer. It helps the shattering effect. And it certainly would. Freezing plastic makes it more brittle. So when you crack it and that sort of stuff, I like that one. I like the idea of freezing blister packs. Yeah, Tanya's saying thin acrylic sheet. Yeah, I mean, I think we'd have to adopt Bill's idea of sticking acrylic sheets in the in the freezer, because they're quite flexible. CJ's saying, cutting up, Agile Monk, thank you, buddy. Blister packs are the ideal material, cut jagged pieces for that broken glass effect. Neil Bosch, or almost like laminated glass, the cellophane tape keeps it from going anywhere. Thomas is saying he uses the plastic sheets for an overhead. Now, that I'm assuming he's talking acetate sheets for an overhead projector. Thank you, Agile Mug. 1 mil perspex put in the freezer and smack with a hammer. Cover it over with a sheet. Rudy's saying the mobile phone screen protectors, tempered glass ones. So, we seem to be having like two train of thoughts on it. We've got the blister packs, yeah, malarkey, which is very much, and blister packs and plastics, which is either cut it or freeze it and shatter it. And then we've got go for the sort of simulated glass, which is like, you know, your screen protectors, microscope slides, very thin perspex, and actually crack that. But obviously, it's a cutting hazard, so, you know, watch it. I'd wear gloves. Go for dance at the end of the show, folks. It's the way we go. Yeah, so that's a good question. I'm quite happy with that one. Right, I saw a Vorpal saying, I need to build a Viet Cong prisoner of war camp, and I've never once created a piece of terrain I could be proud of. Every piece of terrain you should be proud of, mate. I know we're awful as terrain makers for beating ourselves up and not being like happy with what we make, but in truth, everything we create we should be proud of. I'm not having that sort of chat in my chat. Anyone who carries on with that shenanigans, they're going to find themselves in the timeout corner. Moderators, you have been told. Thank you, Agile. It is genuinely appreciated, mate. Right. Rusted saying we are at 94% from complete financial security on my patron goal, which is the pay the bills, cover the studio, a little bit of living money, and okay as long as I'm in the studio producing. Now, that's really good because it was 83% yesterday, so that's 11% in a day. So there's a chance I could hit that this month. Tanya's saying being creative is its own reward. It is. And we shouldn't beat ourselves up over our hobby and that sort of stuff. Now, I'm gonna fire a question over at you guys now. Okay? Yeah. Someone's mentioned in the tips video, so let's have a quick chat about the tips video. As some of you are aware, on Thursday I put out a new video which was sort of a condensed recording or a condensed editing of this live show. Yeah, not this one, last week's. I'm not Doctor Strange or anything. That'd be a neat trick, wouldn't it? Here's the condensed version of the show you're gonna be part of next week. Terrain tips from Doctor Strange. Tim Alves, I guess that's not hookers, and no, it isn't, mate. And I'm in Stoke. You couldn't pay me in Stoke. Yeah. And so, right, so I made this tips video. Okay, now, really good. It went down it's about a half-hour video, yeah, and it's got about 8 questions in it that are actually really good information pieces, but with all the normal banter and buff and that sort of stuff cut out, yeah. Now, it went down exactly as I expected it to go down, which was it got a much lower amount of viewers than my new videos usually do, but those viewers watched it pretty much all the way through, and they really liked it in the comments. Okay, and this is pretty typical of my more technical terrain stuff. So things like the back to basics, things like the terrain labs, they don't have broad appeal. General wargamers aren't interested in seeing me doing experiments over how to figure out how to do something terrain. They're more interested in the actual tutorials. Whereas you real terrain heads, yeah, anything terrain wise which is about expanding, our knowledge and our ability and our techniques, you lot are right in there. So it went really well, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, because I was never expecting it to get massive views. Thank you, Matthew. Okay, yeah, never expected it to get massive views. Yeah, my question was, will the sort of hardcore crew find it useful? Yeah, and they really did, and they appreciate it. And there was a lot of people saying, I do appreciate this because I can't sit through the live stream. So this sort of condensed one, it's easier for me to sit along, follow along, that sort of stuff. So there comes a question of, right, well, what do we do with this? Yeah, now I was thinking about it, and I talked to Tam put, I've been discussing it with the patrons. Yeah, because I put it out there early to get their feel on it first. And Tam came up with a good comment of, look, this is cool, but it's not really a patron video. And it was something that I agreed with at the time. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think, there's effort in it, but there's not enough effort to justify it to be a patron video. And I was thinking what to do about this, and I was thinking, right, do I continue to do this and every week bring out a tips video from the live show? Yeah, and then perhaps do a summary post on Patreon at the end of the month, say, hey, here's all 4, because that would be worth a Patreon post, you know, the 4. And then I was thinking, well, there's a couple of downsides to that. There's one, every Thursday would be a tips video, yeah, and with the live shows compared to the amount of tutorials I'm doing at the minute, it's going to sort of overwhelm the channel with talky stuff when I really want the channel to be getting overwhelmed with terrainy stuff. Yeah, and so it doesn't fit well with me. Yeah, and so there's also every week I'd have to do the upload, the tags, the cards, the social media posts, the follow-on admin and that sort of stuff. Then it occurred to me what I could do is do it as a monthly vid. Yeah, and do it as like an hour and 90-minute video of all the best questions and sort of technical information discussions that we have from the live shows, but sort of cut down. So once a month, yeah, everyone gets like a really long show that they can stick in the background, yeah, for a night of hobbying. And in that case, it's only one video to upload, so one set of admin. It's still the whole admin time, so it's an admin edit, but it's worth it and it won't overwhelm the channel. So that's my plan going forward. Yeah, so I am recording this show. We've already got the blister pack question in there. I don't know if it'll make the final one. Yeah, over this month, what we're going to do is we're going to ask more questions and that sort of stuff. I'm going to get more content for that. And then once I have, yeah, I'm going to be slowly editing it up. And then probably end of the month, start of next month, we'll release it as a special show. And moving forward, it'll be a monthly show. That way, we're not losing all the valuable insights that not only I share on this, but, you 130 Terrainiacs contribute in as well. The answers are a community thing. So we're not losing any of that really good information, but we're not overwhelming the channel. And I'm not taking the mick with my patrons, posting like an easy to edit video up every week. So that is the battle plan. Hey you. Thank you, Tank. Yeah, not to say Patreon posts can also be written works like the extra stuff from the book never used, just add pics. Can then use it for blog posts after time, cut down so it expands your reach. I'm looking at developing it. I'm looking at engaging and doing things properly. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because for a long time I've always been let's throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah, so my battle plan now is more along the lines of just focus on the terrain and build something. Uh-oh, here comes the girl. Thank you, Jeffrey. Hey, Wills! Bring your cat.
Which one? The drawing or the pumpkin?
The one that you can show on YouTube. You pervert.
No, I mean like the drawing that I did in my book, or the pumpkin.
Oh, I thought you meant the one you drew on, which I won't let you carve.
Oh, I'm carving it.
You're not.
Yeah, I am. Hello! I'm here to take over now.
No, you're not. Willow?
It's a kitty cat!
It's a kitty cat. Take your kitty cat and get out. I'm doing my live show, darling. Come on.
Okay.
Walk of shame. You know.
Walk of fame.
Walk of fame. Ouch.
You told me to draw something where you wouldn't know if it was a cat or not and you would have to doubt it. I did it. It's a cat.
Go.
I love you.
I love you too. This is what I have to deal with. She's quite creative. I said, well, why don't you do something that could be a cat or it could be something else? tell you when I saw it. She was just about to start carving. Yeah, so Willow being a true self there. Right. Yeah. Abel saying once a month sounds about right. I think it'll be right for that sort of show, because I think people who come here for the terrain and the actual practical stuff, if you know, that coming along in their feed once a month is not going to bother them. A tips video coming up every Thursday, it's going to get annoying. I think it'd annoy me. You know what I mean? No, mate, I'm here for the terrain, not the talkies. And I know a lot of you guys have said, hey, Mel, you're doing a lot of live shows and it's nice to have you back, but get building, dude. Yeah, and so I think for me to jump on content which would flood my channel with like 4 or 5 videos, you know, non-terrain building videos a month, nah. Once a month, I think is the way to go. DM's asking how much money does Google take off the donation? It's about 30% off a super chat. Yeah, I know. Links to PayPal down below. They take like, I think, about 0.5%. Okay. Let me stop my record button. Then re-record, because I'm getting good at this. Al Rafa's got a question about trees. I made my first trees from wires and oven-baked clay. It looks great, but it's still pretty naked. I would love to put some foliage on, but I don't know where to start. Right, there's loads of ways that you can add foliage to a tree. It depends how open you want it. Okay? You can get clump foliage, you know, on modelling bushes, and attach those to wires for more dense foliage. You can get lichen, yeah, attach that. You can then spray the lichen with like a spray adhesive, a latex spray adhesive, and flock it. You can get hanging baskets, a wire wool, yeah, stretch them out over the armature, spray it brown, spray it with a latex adhesive, and flock that, yeah. So there's a whole range of of ways that you can actually create foliage on a tree. What's important when it comes to creating trees is how much hammer it's going to get. Yeah, because of all the terrain that we sort of build, trees tend to be the most delicate because they can have the finest of armatures, and at the same time in a wargaming situation, especially in a club or tournament situation, they can take the most hammer. Yeah, so it really depends on how much hammer, yeah, and where you're going to be. I mean, if it's your own set, then you can get away with wire wool. You can get away with like coconut fibre from hanging baskets, pulled out, sort of stretched out, and then, you know, put over the armature and sealed and sprayed, because it is delicate, but if you're looking after it, it's perfectly fine. If it's going to be a place where, you know, it's a gaming club, it's a store, it's a tournament, you want to be looking at the clump foliage, the upholstery foam sprayed green and flocked, you know, the lichen sort of techniques, because they're going to be the ones that are sort of more rugged and can take the damage. Because it's great making trees, but with them being the most easily bit of damage, they're quite disheartening, you know, if they get damaged. Yeah, and they're quite difficult to fix as well. They can be quite fiddly. So you're always better looking at, right, how much hammer are these trees going to get? Yeah, and then adjust your build appropriately. Jimmy's saying, don't go licking the licking. I have the worst experience with clump foliage. It falls off, no glue holds it to strength I need to. I've just resigned myself to Monster Fight Club trees. Now, Monster Fight Club trees are really clever because they're like the plastic trees. So they're literally hard plastic moulded. Yeah, but they've got really nice canopies that you could flock. Apparently Luke APS, Geek Gaming, yeah, absolutely top bloke. He's put out a good video on make pretty and strong trees this week, so go check him out, guys. If you don't know Luke, he's an awesome guy. Yeah, Luke APS, or he might be going under Geek Gaming now. Yeah, but give him a search. Yeah, Ed's saying he uses gutter filters for trees, kind of open sponge structure. Yeah, I've seen those. Looking at doing an indoor table, normal trees are not an issue. How would you represent giant redwood type trees? Well, we're still in the tree, so let's keep going with the tree stuff. If I'm looking at if I'd look at something like that, I'd look at the old cardboard tubes and then texture them up. I'd pack the middle, probably with spray foam, expanding spray foam up the middle. Yeah, and then I'd use foam to carve like the root structures. You know, that sort of, not flannel, the flange out. Yeah, and then I'd probably texture coat them up, to be perfectly honest. So that's probably how I'd handle. The important thing with trees like that is that you put them on a decent sized base, because what you're going to have is you're going to have loads of poles standing up on your gaming board, which you're going to knock. So if you put them on a decent sized base, and at the bottom of your cardboard tube, yeah, you throw a couple of big rocks down there, so they're weighted heavy at the bottom, a bit like the old Weebles. Remember them, where you're like, Weebles wobble but they don't fall down? Those toys you used to push, and they used to wobble and then stand up straight. I've just realised I'm describing a toy from my childhood. Yeah, and at a comparable age, my kid's toy was an iPad. Weebles wobble but they don't fall down. Look at it. I can keep pushing it, but it doesn't fall. How easy entertained were we as a generation? Right, I want to keep it to trees, so I'm going to go through the comments because it's a bit varied, because I do want to keep this to trees. We're getting a lot of interesting, 95, I soaked my clump of lichen in glycerin and it's still soft and beautiful. Been using them for wargaming all this time. Yeah, lichen, you can buy it from hobby stores when you're making your trees. It's been pre-preserved. Yeah, but you can soak it in glycerin, yeah, which is sort of it just basically soaks in and stops it getting dehydrated and keeps it flexible. Yeah. Neil saying trees, seafoam bits glued on, dip it in latex rubber and then add the foliage works. That's some detailed stuff. The latex adds a lot of strength. It's very brittle without the latex though. I can imagine it would be with seafoam. Seafoam they're like little miniature trees, really delicate. Styrofoam covered with clump foliage is another way of making foliage the crown. Listen, let's use our proper terminology, yeah? The green stuff, yeah, on the top of a tree is called its crown. Okay, so when we're making crowns, yeah, styrofoam, polystyrene, latex glue or a hot glue, yeah, sticking on bits of clump foliage works, and they're really good for large expansive woods as well. You can sort of make a styrofoam piece that rests on a load of twigs and then clump foliage it all up. I've seen videos of upgrading Christmas pine trees by spraying and painting and flocking and sealing for Wargames terrain. I've used those before for a large project. Yeah, I have, and they work well. You don't have any problems, they work great as armatures. The main thing is that when you're spraying them up, the latex glue that you use a fine mist spray, yeah, which tends to be the repositional spray glues. Yeah, the permanent spray ones tend to be the messy, stringy ones. Yeah. Martin saying Luke at Geek Gamer was making indestructible trees using armatures and seafoam, dipping in the liquid latex. I'm going to have to check that out. Oh, my comments have jumped. Do you know what? I think we've nailed the trees. There are plenty of ideas for trees there. So, I hope that helps you, buddy. Right, let's crack on. See, that was an 8-minute video because I started talking about trees and we got 8 minutes to talk about different tree techniques there. This hour-and-a-half video, it's like it's filming itself. Right, now we've got the Weebles comment. Endo trees, Pringle tubes covered in hot glue for bark, texture, roots and paint. Yeah. Thank you, ISO. I miss Weebles. We had Weebles. Might be easier to store giant trees that can come off the bases. No, Ed, all you've got to do is make them so they stack. So all you've got to do is make them so that, you know, you can put so many down and then turn them upside down and place them in the gaps. Didn't have Weebles, had Fisher Price Little People. Basically, heads on wooden pegs. Remember those? Love my Lincoln Logs. Dude! Just remember this, Mel. When you were playing with Weeblies, you were also watching Stingray. Anything can happen in the next 30 minutes. Do you know where I've been watching recently? It's on Amazon, yeah? And it's free with ads, yeah? Terrahawks. That's what it's called. It's brilliant. And the modelling on it is fantastic. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, back in when I was a kid, a lot of our sort of kids programs were things like Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons, Stingray, Thunderbirds, and Terrahawks. And out of all of them, Terrahawks was my favourite. Yeah, and it's on Amazon at the minute, and it's brilliant. CJ saying, have you seen Papercut's channel? Papercut's jungle foliage is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's museum level stuff. Thank you, Jonathan. What?
I have a question. Right, you know the computer upstairs?
Uh-oh. Yeah?
Right, so I put in the blue cable, I put in the power cable, and then I put in some other, like, HDMI cable, I think it is.
Yeah?
Right, the computer's working, and the monitor is on, but the monitor won't connect to the computer.
Right, is the HDMI cable that you plugged into the computer also plugged into the monitor?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm gonna go check.
I would.
Thank you.
Hey, Ellie! Terrahawks was a childhood classic, but Starfleet was next. Starfleet! I completely forgot that existed. No, that's not it. That's not the Starfleet I want. It was called Starfleet, wasn't it? Was it? Jerry Anderson ruled out our childhoods. He did. On top of that, dance your cares away, worries for another day, let the music play. Down it. Send a message out across the sky. Alien Raiders just past Gemini. X-Bomber. Did they have to rename it because of Star Trek? That was it. Oh. The moon base. Oh, RV's coming with Don't You Open That Trapdoor. Thank you, Jerry. UFO was good. Ulysses 31. That was a hell of a cartoon. That was a hell of a cartoon. Thank you, Al Rafa. Rejoins, and the first thing I see is Mel doing Fraggle Rock. What did I miss? We're just having a bit of a nostalgic blast from the past. Now, it's not just a shout out and a blast and a nostalgic look at these kids programs. A lot of our terrain modelling techniques came from these kids programs. Yeah, most of our tree work, our rock work, our ground work has come from these kids programs. Yeah, so I think it's Mysterious Cities of Gold, Flying Gondor. Doozer structures are made out of radishes, and Fraggles love radishes. Now, Mel, we'll have to do some nostalgia-based terrain. Do you know what? At some point, I think we should. At some point, I think we should. Not so much in the past, but Wallace and Gromit. I know what you're saying, Insane. Yeah. Yeah, but Wallace and Gromit is good, but it's not from, like, you know what I mean? No. No. Everyone's remembering all the things they forgot. Mysterious Cities of Gold. I wanted to do explosions with toy cars like the Thunderbirds had. The Herbs, Castle Greyhawk. Ulysses Sci-Fi. The Ulysses Sci-Fi was a good one. A good one. Oh, I soaked 3 and saw. Blue Peter Trace Island. We all built one of those. The original Danger Mouse. Well remembered. Well remembered. Mike saying when I was a kid, Blue Peter did Making Tracy Island segment. Probably the first terrain I ever made. Same here, mate. I had a Tracy Island off Blue Peter as well. The Musker Hounds. Now, you see, now we're just breaking into absolutely everything. That is our, that is our childhood. And this is not going to stop. Yeah, and we've derailed the terrain train. Yeah, Aylesford, Wind of the Willows, Make Castle Duckula. Tony Hart was amazing, and Art Attack. Inspector Gadget. See, now we're just talking about our favourite cartoons. Right, guys, listen, this is what I'm going to do. It's actually been a bit of a long day, and I've been a bit fatigued with actually, the emotional roller coaster and all that. So, since we've derailed it, we're not going to get back on terrain. And I've got some good clips for the monthly vid. And I'll show my face with you guys and thank you. Once again, listen, I can't thank you guys and the extended Terrainiac community more than enough. Yeah, you've absolutely brilliant. There's no other way of putting it, to be perfectly honest. So, I'm going to wish you well. I'm back in the, I'm stress-free. I'm back in the studio tomorrow. I'll be dealing with my modern art rice paddies and making them more level. Yeah, and so we've got that coming at you. There's loads more coming at you terrain-wise, yeah. So I'm back in the saddle. You've got me in there and I'm going to ride it hard. So, we know the drill. If you've had a good show and you've enjoyed seeing a smile on my face, yeah, 10 taps. 4 for the hell, 1 for the space, 4 for the yeah. I want to keep this smile on my face, folks. You have an absolute brilliant one, guys. All the best, yeah? Ta-ra.